All righty, ladies and gentlemen. Man, y'all know what time it is. Here we have another winner of the 2 racks a week challenge, man. Here we have Anton. Anton, do him a quick introduction. Let him know what market you driving in and what platform you mainly drive on.
Okay, so yeah, my name is Anton. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and the platform I use is just Uber only.
Okay, just Uber only. And yeah, man, it's about time we got somebody from Cleveland, Ohio, so represent, the land. I've been waiting for somebody to, pop up and make 2 racks a week in that area just because I have family ties down there. So shout out to you. And you mainly drive on Uber, as you said. So
Yes.
tell them exactly how many hours and how much money did you make?
I did about like 55 hours and I made $2,006.
All right, I'm about to pull it up for y'all because I know a lot of people. They like, ooh, So here we go, right here. Oh damn, hold up, it's kind of bright. Let me dim my settings real quick. Just give me 1 second so the people can see it. See, I see right there. You'll see the 2000 and hold up, the focus. There we go. $2,006, 54 hours and 6 minutes. Apologies because I got the wrong focus settings, but there you go. You can see it clear. You see his name, so there ain't no cap. He ain't lying. This is definitely him. So not too shabby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you do it?
All right. So I would say the one thing is I try to take advantage of the promotions and also too the Browns opener as well. Like I feel like with Uber drivers, there was a lot of NFL games that were going on, and that
Mhm.
was like the best time to do it as well.
Okay. Yeah, not too shabby. Yeah, like I said, man, if you live in like in a major downtown area, I think downtown areas are generally good to drive just because it's always something going on. You got entertainment, you got nightlife, and especially if you got sports team. I know y'all got what they call them, the Guardians now, and also
Yeah.
basketball team and the NFL team. So if something going on like that, it's you should pretty much make money. So congratulations to you once again. And how did you even, come into driving Uber? Like what made you
You
even
know what's
start?
crazy was actually like before Uber, honestly, I was taking the bus. Like I didn't even have a car. So like a
Mm,
friend sent me a link. She sent me a link, like because you can rent the cars with Uber, like you can go with Avis or Hertz.
yeah.
And like I started doing that, I paid the 300 and like I made that in one day and I was like, dang, like it wasn't even that hard to get it. And then I just started doing that and it basically just became a thing
Ooh,
to where
okay.
now I'm just doing it full time.
Okay, so you said one of your homegirls had sent you like the link and you rented a car and
Yeah,
then you
because
started.
because she was like, oh, like maybe this might help you. Like usually you might just have like someone to just like give you a stepping stone to like
Yeah.
help you in life,
Okay.
and like that's basically what happened.
Did she drive it as well, or did she have any ties to driving, or how did she even find out
Oh no,
about
she
it?
did. Yeah, she didn't even have any ties to like driving, but yeah, she just sent the link because she knew like I didn't have a car or anything, so she's like, oh, like maybe this might help you.
Okay, shit, not too shabby. Shout out to her. You might have to marry her. Just saying.
Yeah,
Just saying. All right, cool. So you start driving. You got the car. You start driving. I'm pretty sure you start off part time, right? Or
yeah, because like when
Mhm.
I was doing it part time, I also too worked at the airport. So like at
Okay.
least now I have like a lot of knowledge of like when the flights landed and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
you like
honestly,
me.
at the airport, yeah, like I was a ramp agent, and honestly, I was getting like 15 an hour.
Yep.
And honestly, like they were I was starting to do Uber, and like I was getting late to work. But the reason was because of that I was making more money on Uber instead
Yep.
of like going to work.
Oh
So
man.
eventually, people started getting mad at that, and also too they had switched my schedule around, so it was like 4 a.m. to where they wanted me to wake up and stuff. And honestly, I was like, you know what, just forget it, and I'll just do like Uber full time. So at least now, like I haven't even worked a 9 to 5 in like a couple months. Like
Oh
honestly, you can
hell
just do
yeah.
Uber full time if you want to.
Damn, man, your story is so similar to mine. Being a ramp agent, I was a ramp agent for years my damn
Oh,
self.
really?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I started off, driving Uber. I was a ramp agent and I started driving part time and I was making more money driving part time, man. What airline?
I was with Delta.
Damn. Same here, bro. So you was
Yeah.
non-rev. I mean not non-rev, I mean
Oh, yeah.
damn, what do they call it?
Yeah, the standby non-rev, yeah.
Yeah,
With
that's when you fly. I forgot the name
yeah.
that they call them. Uh it's like they got a fancy title for part-time workers. I forgot exactly what they call it. I don't want
Oh,
to get, you know,
yeah.
dang, it's gonna get on my nerves, but that's exactly how I started. Like your story is exactly,
Well,
the
that's
same as
crazy that and like did they ever get mad at you or like did you ever do Uber and it like interfered with your work like with the
no,
airport or
because like my schedule, um, I think I was going in like maybe 12 or 1 o'clock because they ended up switching it like the
yeah.
shifts a little bit. So I used to start like at 5 a.m., maybe drive until like 10:45, 11, take a nap in the employee parking lot for like 30, 40 minutes,
Yeah.
then go to the terminal, then get to work, then drive after. So I was having a good time. Oh, ready
Oh yeah.
reserve. That's what's called ready reserve. You was ready
Yeah.
reserve. Okay. And
Yeah.
how long did you do that?
Honestly I was doing it for like 6 months.
Okay. Then you quit.
Yeah. Well, actually I had gotten fired. That was the thing is like
Ooh.
since they switched my schedule around. Yeah, like yeah, I just wasn't really like into it as much, you know? Because
Yeah.
like with Uber, it's like 50, like usually make around 20 to 25 an hour compared to like 15 hour. Like
Yep.
at least with the airport, I was just kind of like it didn't really matter that much to me. I'm pretty sure you probably felt the same way.
Oh
Like when
man,
you started
hell.
doing Uber.
I'll get to my story after yours. So you got fired. So you yeah, why'd you get fired? Like to talk about that for a little bit. So you
Like honestly, I just kept sleeping in. So like that's one thing I like about Uber is like you can sleep in, you can choose your own hours,
yeah.
And also I was like looking at a lot of the other people's videos because I know you had like a lot of other people who are like in the corporate world and
Yeah.
they just start to not like their job. It's not like I didn't like the airport, but it's like who wants to like have to be forced to do something every day, Like
Right,
you should
right.
have a choice on whether or not you want to do it or not.
Mm.
I,
Yep.
I feel like that's true freedom.
Yeah, exactly, man. Then, once you it's like discover like the hidden gems, like driving, you on your own time and it's like that feeling is priceless. You just being on your own time. Like you
Yeah.
said, you got fired because you was sleeping in and you was late to work. So
Yeah.
what did once you got fired, what did your family or friends say like once you got fired?
Oh, nothing really. I mean, like my family and friends are like, well, I mean, my family's all the way in North Carolina, so it's like
Oh,
they don't
okay.
really like keep in touch like that. But as long as they know that I'm just like being productive, that's really all that matters at the end of the day.
Oh, okay, okay. I ain't know, but man,
Yeah.
you gonna give up that good job? What about the flight benefits? Or did anybody
Oh
bring up the
yeah.
flight ben?
No, like I just know like being at the airport, I'm pretty sure you were probably like annoyed with this, but mostly the most annoying thing is like people feel entitled to your benefits, like the flight
Oh,
benefits to be like, oh, let me get on them.
oh man, trust me, I know I got people hitting me up who barely talk to me. Like, hey man, you got any buddy passes? I'm like, I don't even talk
Yeah.
to you. Like, you talking about buddy pass? Like, like what about some buddy ass? How about that? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so like, yeah, trust me, I know I've been through it, and like I said, it just like a refresher, and it's funny because I know exactly what you're going through. So like, my epiphany was I ended up going seasonal. I was working, part time, driving part time,
Yeah.
and I just ended up, loving like the autonomy, like the freedoms, and I started making way more money just part time. Then I ended up going seasonal, only working, the summertime, and
Oh
like
yeah.
and from the summertime until the time I had to go back, whatever amount of time it was, maybe 8, 10 months, whatever, I was getting a feel for, just waking up, working on my own, making more money. Then when it was time to go back to the airport, I'm like, man, you gotta go through the whole badging process,
Oh yeah.
take people complaining first day. I'm like, y'all didn't work all year. Y'all come back just complaining. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Then I was there 8 days and I just walked out. I'm like, man, I'm missing out on too much money.
Uh,
Y'all messed my schedule up. I'm like, no, I
Right.
can't do
Yeah, that
no
was the
more.
same thing with me. I
Mhm.
was they, like when they had me working, because like before I had to work at 4 a.m. I was working from 6 p.m. to like 1
Mhm.
a.m. and those like the best hours to do Uber. So like even with that, I was just like so mad because like while I work, I'm like, man, I could be like doing Uber right now or making
Yep.
more money than what the airport was giving me. Because honestly, they were just giving me like for part time probably like $300 $400 at the most. Like
Right,
where you
man.
can just make that in one day on Uber. Like
Yeah,
might as well work smarter, not harder.
right. Yeah. So you pretty much like felt like liberated, once you start driving, then like you say, you didn't have a car, you got a car, you driving,
Yeah,
you made up the car payment within like the very first day. So it's like
yeah.
a feeling of, liberation. And I'm not sure how much of my content you've seen or if you ever read the comments. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, look how many hours, 54 hours or plus, that you may have to do doing this." So it's like, "Oh, you a slave," or that they are
Yeah,
pretty
it's
much
not really
fucking you
like that
over.
because you can choose those 54 hours. So like
Exactly.
let's and also too like during that week, Monday and Tuesday, I only worked like 3 or 4 hours. So like honestly, I didn't even like go all in on it. Like you can have a choice to even like make $1,000. To make $1,000, all you have to do is probably like 20 or 30 hours.
Exactly,
Make
man.
a quick thousand.
Yes. Yeah. So talk about since you've been driving. How long you been driving again? I'm sorry.
Since November of last year.
Okay, since November. So you coming up on the year. So talk about, some of the, changes that you noticed or benefits, I would say, from, driving full time compared to, being at a job. Yeah, being at a job.
Honestly, I don't really feel like that much different. I just feel like now that since I'm not like working, it just at least I just have like more freedom. Like I don't
Hmm.
have to like deal with somebody like calling me like, hey, you know what, you gotta be here at this time or this time. Like also too, like I just know a lot of other people that do like Uber full time as well. And
Okay.
also too, they might like do Spark and stuff like that. And they tell me the same thing. I'm pretty sure you might not have the best experience with like managers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you gotta be here at this time and this time. It's like, can I just choose my own time?
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, because like you said, man, like you get to choose your own hours, so you could work as
Yeah,
much or as little as you want to, and
right.
that's one of the positives about this. Why do you think like transitioning to doing this full time or even I'll say full time? Why do you think a lot of people just expect this to be a W-2 job?
Well, they expect to be W
Yeah,
two.
yeah, like
I'm not
to
really
pretty much get like the same type of benefits or
because
yeah.
it's all on you. Like
Mhm.
because I feel like with a 9 to 5, you have it like where it's structured, you have everything like kind of set up for you. But at least with like Uber, you get to choose. Like
Yeah.
it's like you choose
Exactly.
the hours. It's like all on you.
Exactly. You're right. Like you get to choose your own structure. Uh was that like developing your own type of structure, was that hard for you or you just pretty much figured it out right away?
Yeah, I kind of just was able to figure it out right away. Like, what about you? Like, how was it when you transitioned from like the airport to full time? Wasn't it a
Uh
pretty easy
yeah, it,
transition?
it was pretty
Or
easy for me because, I was an athlete, so you waking up,
right?
going to weights and working hard. It's like shit, your whole life has pretty much been, discipline and working hard. But from what I see, a lot of people, man, they struggle, with that transition. It's like, they're
Oh yeah,
enthusiastic about doing it. Then once it's time to get out there and work, for a lot of people, nothing. They'll start like at 10 a.m. Then maybe
yeah.
it'll be slow for a little bit. And oh, I go back home. So they do like 3 hours. Then at the end of the week, you're like, damn, you did like 26 hours. Like shit,
Oh
you might as well
yeah,
just you might as well just, stayed at a job. So that's
right. Yeah, that's true. And like also too, you can do that. Like I would say, some parts of the day can be slow. Like sometimes I do that. Like if it's like between 10 and 2, I might just go home for a couple hours and then go back at it because at least I know around 2 or 3, a lot of people will be home from work and that's when like the surges arrive. So like
Yeah.
you can do it like that, but you just got to just make sure that you set a goal like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna dedicate like 7 or 8 hours out of the day, just to, or at least like set a number, at least like 250 a day or like
Yeah,
200
yeah,
a day,
yeah. Let's talk about that.
and then
So
once you hit that, you can just like quit the app or whatever.
yeah, so explain like a day in the life, like in your shoes. How do you attack the day, like as far as what times you start, stuff like that. Walk us through.
All right, so I'll say like the best times to start, start at like around 6 a.m. to like 9 a.m. because that's when people like go to work. So usually I'll see that thing like red almost every single day. Like a lot of people
Mm,
when he rides to go to work. And then I'll say like the slow areas are around like 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. because usually, like there's not
yeah.
really much stuff going on, but you can still like do it around that time. And then anytime after like 3, that's when it's like all good.
Mm,
That's when people are like off work. And usually the best times to do Uber is honestly at night because that's when no one wants to do it. That's when that discipline kind of comes in. Like most people are sleeping. When most people are sleeping, that's when you should be working because you can have like that step ahead of like the rest of the crowd.
absolutely, man. Yeah, and I'm glad that you said like pretty much that you was just checking the app. Like, damn, notice like certain trends. A lot of people they don't ever do that. Let's say even if you don't. Like at some point, you're probably gonna wake up in the middle of the night. At least check your app. Like, damn, it's 5 a.m. It's surging. Then you continue to do it. Then you'll see certain patterns. But I
Right.
think, in my honest opinion, I think most people don't care enough in the first place. I think they just rather,
Yeah.
make excuses and find, ways to complain, man, just because complaining is cool now.
Yeah. And like some people, like I mentioned Uber to them, they're like, oh no, I'd never do like that much driving. Like
Yep.
what's wrong with driving? Like there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, exactly. How many people you met to say that, or like let's say some of your friends or family that you I'm pretty sure that you showed the screenshot of you making 2,000. Like, what were they responses?
Honestly, I mean, I haven't even like really showed anyone the 2000.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah. I don't know, like usually sometimes I just keep that stuff to myself because like
okay.
usually like when you show people that type of stuff, like usually that's when they like start having their own opinions and stuff and like I don't know,
Yeah,
usually I just keep that stuff to myself.
right, right. Just yeah, that's smart. Just let them be ignorant, like because yeah,
Or
because you'll
honestly,
get
I'll just probably just send them this video and then I can send them the screenshot too and like hopefully that might be like some inspiration because there is actually people out there that like maybe they might just need this video, as some motivation, like hey, if anyone like you've had like over 50 people that made like over 2000, so if over 50 people can do it, anyone can do it if they put their mind to it.
yep, you the 60-second person, so
Oh wow,
to
that's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, to do it. So this 60 interview number 62, and especially you in Cleveland, because a lot of people, I'm not sure if you met like drivers or
Yeah.
whatever, because you pretty much just got the car and just dove into it, like whatever. It was
Yeah.
no like skepticism or anything behind it. So it was like you was just
Yeah,
learning
and
on the
that's
fly,
also one
having
thing
fun with
too.
it. Hmm.
Yeah, and that's one thing too is like some people think that like there's gonna be bad passengers or whatever, but also too there's a filter on there if you can set the rating, to like higher rated people.
Yeah.
And like also just like know the areas, like honestly I just realized now is like go where the money's at, go where the rich areas are at, like don't be going to the hood because honestly I just know that
Exactly.
if you go to where the rich areas are at, that's where people tip more.
People tip more and you have better experiences. Like I
Yeah,
avoid, like you said, if I see like some rides going to East Oakland, nope, nope. I just try
yeah,
to avoid those areas because it's not even about like the tips, it's just about the experience. Then some people they want
right,
to give you like harass you and just like they already in a negative mindset. And I don't got time
right.
for that. I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
a
you want to be
pleasant
around that
ride.
positive.
Yeah, a pleasant ride, not a bunch of drama. I don't have time to be arguing with you. Just pick up, and drop off, man. That's
Right.
pretty much it, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So dang, I just had a question. I just had a brain fart real quick. Yeah, how did you even find out, about the whole 2 racks a week challenge?
Honestly, I guess like since we were just talking about that, I think it's just like law of attraction. Like whatever your mind thinks about is like
Mm,
that's what will like kind of like show up in your feed. So like
okay.
honestly, you just showed up out of nowhere and like before I was just making like 1,300, 1,400, and like I honestly like saw your videos and I was like, man, like I might as well like push myself to the 2,000 a week, you know?
All right, stop right there. So, what changed when you was making 13 to 1400 to hitting 2000? What changed within, like yourself?
Honestly, I just know that like since I hit the 2,000, I just know like if I can hit that, I can hit even like higher numbers, like I
Yeah.
think you should always hit high expectations.
Oh, absolutely. No, I was saying, like, what did you do differently to reach 2000?
Honestly, I would just really just working more hours, and honestly, I was like
Exactly.
doing strictly airport rides too, and I was trying to do the long rides. Like
Okay.
honestly, since you were talking about Detroit, like honestly, I did a ride because JFK they had like some weather issues, and a person needed a ride from this airport to go to Detroit because their flight was like a nonstop from Detroit.
Oh
So like
yeah,
I made
yeah,
like
Delta. Yeah.
150 just off of that.
Oh, they booked it through the app, or they just paid you personally?
Now let's book it through the app.
Oh damn, I didn't know you can even go that far.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Like what was
Okay.
your longest trip? Like have you ever done any to like LA or
Maybe no, no, no. Every now and then I'll get, like these trip requests to go somewhere like weird, like a few hours
oh
away.
okay.
I think I even got one to like Vegas or something. But I'm like, is this a glitch? And I'm like, I ain't about to do this because it's like I never know what type of person gonna be in the car, and I don't want somebody in the car with me for 6, 7, 8 hours. Then I got to drive
Oh
back. I'm like, man, forget all that. But dang, yeah, shit, that's cool. So basically, you went from 13 to 2000. How long did it take you?
honestly, like remember, I think I sent you like a screenshot like 2 weeks ago, like where I was like, oh, like I was making
Yeah, yeah,
1,300. I
yeah,
was
yeah. You right.
dying like that, and like honestly, like this week, I don't know, I just made it because I was like, you know what, like I made like 1,000 by like Thursday or Friday, and I was like, oh, I can just make the rest this weekend because like
Yeah,
since
I
they had
remember
the
that.
Browns opener, yeah, I was like, you know what, I can make it happen. And honestly, I finished it early. Like I got it done at like 9:30. I could have made like 2,100 or 2,200 if I really wanted to.
Yeah. So what was it? I don't know if it was something I said or what exactly like sparked you, you know, because like $700, $700 increase, man, that's pretty significant. So like what
Yeah.
sparked you to even want to do it? Because some people they be like, he full of shit, or maybe those are fake screenshots, or he worked for the company. What was it? They be like, all right, let me try this.
Honestly, I just saw like a lot of other people and like I kind of like resonated with what they were saying, like
Mhm.
um honestly, I'm just all about like, just like going hard and not honestly, I think discipline is the number one key to success, like
Yeah.
you should always be disciplined and always like I'm a big believer in delayed gratification, like a lot of
Mm.
people are so concerned with like this instant gratification, like, oh, it's gonna come like right now, like some sometimes you gotta like work hard, like make the 2,000 now and then you see the results later.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, man. Like they can't delay pleasure, can't delay gratification. Everything they want it now. No sacrifice. It's just they just want to have fun and be distracted. But I don't. I think that's a like subpar life, man. It's just no
Yeah.
achievement. Would you say now since you like the past year? Would you say it's something like the best like year of your life as far as like work experience?
Yeah, I would definitely say that
Hell
because at
yeah.
least now like, I just don't have to like have that guilt of like, oh, like if I want to do this, like I can do it. Like
Yeah.
I feel like every person on this planet should have like a choice to do, what they want. Because I feel like true freedom is like doing what you want to do.
Yeah. It's
A lot
choice.
of people think freedom is like, oh, making the most money, but it's really not about the money. It's about like the flexibility.
Exactly. You doing what you want to do and like the freedom, man. Cause now you could do whatever you want to do. Like if you don't want to work for a week, you don't have to. And you could
Right.
get back out there knowing that you're capable of making, $2,000, in your market, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. So how long did it would you say it think for you to, master your market or figure it out to make, 15 or like 1,300 plus? How long did it take you?
Honestly, it didn't really take that long because I feel like Cleveland's like a small city, so
Hmm.
honestly, it's really not that hard to figure it out. Like I'm pretty sure with like Detroit, it's not that hard to figure out, but I know like a city like San Francisco is probably gonna take like way longer. Like how long did it take for you to like really figure out that city?
Uh, that's a good question. Let me think.
And
Probably
also,
maybe a couple years, but I was just enjoying it. I was just staying, staying online and
yeah,
just figuring out where people are going.
yeah,
Um, the type of conventions and conferences that was going to be here at certain times. You know, it's just stuff like that. A lot of it's just learning your market, and
yeah,
a lot of people they don't want to put the time in to actually do it. They just want the now. They just want the answers. How can I do it now? Should I? I'm just going to decline all these trips. Like, nah, man, you got to put some work in. Did you
yeah,
start off declining a bunch of trips, or you was just going with the flow, just having a good time?
yeah. Because I think that's how you make it more enjoyable. Just like go with the flow and just have like a good time and just like what's the word? Just like just enjoy the now, you know?
Yeah, just enjoy it because like once you like go with the flow, especially if you new, man, you got to get a feel for things. Then eventually you be like, oh, okay, I'm declining this trip because I know I have a better opportunity to do this, and that's how you really start to make more money. A lot of people try to rush, and if you decline so many trips, I think that could hinder your driving experience as well because it will be
Yeah,
harder for
because
you to get
like
a feel for
hon
it.
honestly, yeah, I have like some experience with that. Like honestly, I had like a 20% acceptance rate. And honestly, I noticed that I would start getting less trip requests. Like that's the thing. Like it would take like 5, 10 minutes for me to get a request, but once I
Mm.
started like accepting more of them, that's when more of like the trip requests come in. I would say at least have like a 50 or 60% like acceptance rate. Like at least be above like 50%. You know?
Yeah, yeah, and exactly. And I agree with that. And like I said, a lot of people they watch all these like this content on YouTube, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, know your worth. Decline this, decline this." I mean, damn near
But you
everybody
know what's
cherry pick.
crazy? You know what's really crazy is like some of the trips that you accept and it can be like $4. That could be someone that really needed a trip really bad, and then that's when they tip you like $10 or $15. Like
Yeah,
that happens.
exactly. Even if it's cash, it's like, oh damn, yeah, I had plenty of trips like that. You
Yeah,
and that's exactly how it is. And those trips can go to your incentive if you have them, your
right.
quest or your like on live your challenges.
Yeah,
So it's, man, I don't think that nobody would end up losing or having a bad experience for doing this, but that's just my opinion. Have you
right.
struggled like with anything as far as have like any challenges or things that you struggle with since you've been driving?
Nah, not really. Like honestly, it's been like a smooth ride, honestly. Like
Mm.
I've never had no bad experiences.
Okay. No
Yeah.
car problems or
Nah, no car problems, but one time, like when I was driving back to Cleveland, because I was from my parents, like I had like a bent rim, so like at least I was able to get that repaired. Because yeah, like my tire was flat, so
Mhm.
like that was really just like the only problem I've ever had.
Oh, a bent rim, yeah, and a flat, yeah. I mean, but
Yeah,
stuff like that, that's bound to
because
happen. Yeah.
you know how like Detroit and Cleveland are, man. Them fucking potholes, man. They're
Yep.
like big as fuck. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm already knowing. So, man, it get like that sometime, man. And that's the thing because it's people they expect everything to go 100% smooth, but that's not reasonable.
yeah.
Something's
I think
going to
even like
happen.
the
It is
most
what it is.
Yeah, like even a lot of these like successful like millionaires and billionaires be saying that too. Like sometimes like even if you make like a new business, like it's bound to fail. Because honestly, like the more you fail is like the better you'll succeed. Because after all them failures that you create, like it's just like a learning experience.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a learning curve to like literally everything. You start driving, let's say, bam, oh dang, you get some car problems. Like, dang, I wasn't expecting this, or
Yeah,
maybe you have some money saved or something. Now you like gotta scramble up some money. Then you end up fixing your car, but okay, now I know what to do next time. So it's a learning curve, but half the battle is just being able to overcome adversity and handle stress, which unfortunately
yeah,
a lot of people aren't able to do that. Like
Yeah.
doing this scares a lot of people just because they feel like, oh, I need something more secure. But it's like, how is this not secure? Because you get 84 hours to drive. I don't get it.
Yeah. And like also too is like one thing too that I like about it. This is to me, honestly, this more secure than 9 to 5 because you get 5 payouts a day. Like you can't beat that, you know?
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You
because
just
I'm
keep
like,
cashing out.
I have,
Yeah.
yeah, I can just cash out whenever I want. Like if I need gas or food, like I can just go. Like even if you're a part-time driver, like I feel like everyone should at least do part-time. Like even if you're working 9 to 5, you can at least just be registered with Uber. Let's say you need gas money really bad or something like that. You can just do a couple trips, and then there, you got the gas money. Or like if you need food
Yep.
or something like that.
Yeah, exactly, man. Just real quick. Yeah, that's one of the benefits, man.
Yeah.
Not just the driving. I think well, before I even get to that, what's some of the things, you learned from doing like the 2 racks a week challenge, or why do you think this is important?
I think it's important because honestly, like making the 2 racks, like that's a good thing. But honestly, I just think it's just good to know that you can make 2 racks a week doing a job that doesn't even really need any experience. Like
Mm,
a
ex-
lot of jobs that you need to make 2 racks, you need a master's degree or experience in something where this all you have to do is just click a button.
yeah,
You know?
exactly. As long as you pass a background check, you win the
Yeah,
game, man. It's no going a
right.
bunch of interviews or fixing up your
Yeah,
LinkedIn or I need to tighten up my resume, going a bunch of interviews, a whole bunch of friction. You
yeah.
capable of doing it right then and there. Then all these, the whole playlist, you see different markets. So I can't remember exactly how many markets in particular that we have, but you can find what market you in, then there you go. That's your inspiration for you. And
And
not
also
only Mhm.
I was saying one good thing I like about like Uber too is like even though you can also do I know you can do Uber like anywhere in your state. So like let's say you want to go to like LA, you can still do Uber rideshare there. I know you
Mhm.
can't do Uber rideshare in every state, but at least with Uber Eats, you can do that anywhere in the United States. Like I've done that in Atlanta, Georgia, Las Vegas, like
Oh, for real,
and I don't think
without
yeah,
needing
yeah,
like that state ID or in anything.
yeah. Like you can do Uber Eats anywhere in the world.
Oh,
Well,
for
in
real.
the United States, yeah. Like watch, you can like take a trip to like Florida or something like that. You start pressing it, you'll see like the Uber Eats like come in.
Oh shit.
It's
I
like
didn't
that's
know
a good thing
that.
too. Yeah. You can even like look it up on YouTube, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. I
Yeah.
don't do like the delivery, so but
Yeah,
man,
like me
that's
either. But I'm like, that's
yeah.
one good thing about Uber too, because like I don't know, the Uber delivery it doesn't pay as good as like the rideshare, like
Yeah,
not even close.
right. And the time and amount of time that you have to wait for the food to be ready and all the other stuff, man.
Yeah,
But hell yeah. So what's next? You quit the job, you driving, you capable of making 2 racks a week. So now what's next? Like what are your plans as far as, leveraging this platform to get to the next step?
honestly, like yeah, honestly, I just think like since I can make the 2 racks, honestly, I kind of want to move out of my hometown. Like I want to
Mm,
like try something different. Like that's my goal now is I want to try something different now. Like see a
okay.
different city, like see new people. So I think like at least since I made 2 racks here, I can do that somewhere else and like expand my horizons. Cause like how was like moving to San Francisco? Like did it change your life?
Oh, hell yeah. Well, before when I first got out here, I was in Pasadena. But
Yeah,
it definitely did. It's good to leave the Midwest, especially come to the West Coast. Faster pace, different lifestyle, and regardless of where you go, it's gonna be totally different. Especially if you go to somewhere that's like a big city and there's a lot of things
yeah,
going on. Um, Shit, it all depends on your personality and what you're looking for. But I knew for myself, I had to be like in a place in close proximity where things are going on. People who are successful and just a different lifestyle. And that's why I came out here. And
right.
throughout my time being here, of course I seen people come out here with the dream, and they go back home or something, they just give up. But I just kept fighting, figuring things out. Cause I really came out here to go to school and play sports. But then
Yeah.
once that was over, I was like, okay, now what I'm gonna do? Because I'm not going back home. Whatever,
Yeah.
I'm not going back home. So I'm gonna figure something out. And it's just,
Yeah.
continue to figure something out. And, once that's one thing about driving. It's like it puts you around a bunch of people, then you start to have different conversations. You start to learn more about people, your city, and like different things. You're like, okay, then you get all this information, then you could figure out something to do with it. But yeah, I'll say definitely,
Right.
yeah. What city you think about going to?
I don't know. I was like thinking about like maybe Atlanta or like Miami, like at least like a bigger city to where it's like more stuff going on, you know?
Yeah, no, I could totally understand that, man, and better weather,
Yeah.
and better weather, because I already know how
Did you
those.
did you ever do Uber in Detroit or
No, no,
just
when
San
I've
Francisco?
been I've been in California since 2009, so
Oh wow.
yeah, it wasn't even created when I was out here. So I
Oh,
started in 2016 when I
yeah.
started doing it, and I was just doing it part time, just trying to get some extra cash. And I went full time, and eventually I seen like the true potential once I really started to take it serious in this, man. And that's why I always say, all these, content creators, they, they just talk about stuff that one they can't control and you cannot control. It's not gonna really help you because what is complaining gonna do for you? Nothing. You can't change it.
Right.
So you might as well just, focus on yourself and put in time in and figure something out. 'Cause that's the only thing you could
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. I heard this saying. They said like if you still complain, you still the same, you know?
Oh yeah, I like that. I'm gonna have to use
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And then like also too, what made you create like the two racks a week challenge? Or like what like
That's
made
a
you be like,
man,
oh,
bro.
okay,
That's a good question. I'm glad you asked it. So, what made me create the 2 racks a week challenge? A few things. I was thinking one. I was curious to see what other markets was capable of making 2 racks a week.
Yeah,
And what really sparked it is people. I talked to so many people, and they used to piss me off because everybody had like a story, like, "Oh yeah, I used to drive," or "My cousin used to drive, but they weren't making money," or
yeah,
I was doing like spreadsheets and it's not worth it. And I was only making, like 500 a week. And I'm like, what? And at the time
yeah,
I was probably making like 16, 1700. I'm like, how? So I was like, you know what?
yeah,
I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna just drive 12 hours a day, 84 hours, see how much money I could potentially make. And I started doing that for like 6 months. And I started to see certain things like 2000 plus 2000, 2000, 2000. So I was like, then I was like, of course, people, yeah, I want to make 6 figures, 2 racks a week. So I was like, okay, let's start
yeah.
this two
There's also
racks a
like
week
this.
challenge.
Yeah, there was also like this one video where this guy he got like the Tesla Model X or something like that, and dude
Mhm.
makes like 2,500 a month. You know, like just with the Tesla. Like this dude, I forgot what his name was, but he's like somewhere in Texas. I think you look it up. But this guy like took a bet on himself. He bought like the Tesla, and he's making like 10 racks a month. You know, just doing that. And there's like a lot of people that are now like starting to show that on YouTube that like it is possible that you can do it. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, to show the people who did used to drive, because a lot of people they tell stories and they lie to themselves or they
And
let
also too,
other
one
people permit their thinking. Go ahead.
but oh yeah, one thing too is like I've seen some people have some pretty inspirational stories. It wasn't even about the money. Like I've seen like some people that like $30,000 worth of like credit card debt and they cleared it off with just Uber alone, you know? Like I'm like,
Yeah,
dang,
yeah,
like
man. Mhm. It's a lot of possibilities out here, man.
it
But this the thing, man. Like from what I've noticed, talking to thousands of people, they don't focus on it. They don't have no goals. They don't focus on anything. So it's like, how can you do anything, great if you don't ever come up with the idea to do something great? You just too busy
right.
distracted and just, living uh, a crumb life you
Yeah.
know so that's pretty much why I created it. One, to show the people what could really be done if you work hard and be disciplined. Show other people, like give other people inspiration to go out there, try hard and make 2 racks a week and become the best version of themselves. And three, to piss people off. I mean, if you make it 2 racks a week and
Yeah.
you happy and you doing interviews, and you having a
Yeah.
good time, somebody's gonna hate. So it's like,
Yeah, and it's not
why
like
not?
you can just get a car, like
Yeah,
you can do what I can do or what you can do. It's not hard, get the car, the license, and the background check. It only took a week just to do that background check.
exactly, man. You could be making 2 racks like very soon, man. It all depends on like the thoughts that you place in your head. Um, how hard you work and your disciplines and your structure for yourself. It's really not that
Right.
hard. But one thing I think about the 2 racks a week challenge, it's impossible to lose if you
Yeah.
if you take it serious. Well, nah, even if you don't take it serious, it's still
Yeah.
impossible to lose because if you don't take it serious, you will be exposed. If you do take it
Yeah.
serious, you still be exposed. So, but yeah, I
Oh yeah.
tried the 2 racks a week challenge, but I only, drove like I say 13, 20 hours. It's not worth it. So you were exposed. You not that's what your standard is, and you're not capable of, being self-reliant, being disciplined. So okay, cool. So you didn't lose. You just learned something about yourself if you look for it. But if not, then shit, perish. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we get up out of here, lead the audience, with some last words. People who's looking to drive or the existing drivers who haven't made 2 racks a week, what would you say to them?
Honestly, I already know like with these existing drivers, like they're gonna make the 2 racks a week. Like hopefully, they just get that nudge. Like hopefully, whether they quit their job or something like that. Usually, sometimes God can just like force you out of a situation to like create, like a new situation for you.
Hmm.
So like, who knows? I feel like right after this, there'll probably be someone you'll be interviewing the day after.
Shit, possibly, possibly,
Yeah,
man. And yeah, because like you said, a lot of people they on the fence about quitting their job. I'm not the
yeah,
one to tell you quit or not, but
yeah,
only you can make that
but
decision. But obviously, it's something that's telling you that you're not happy, that you look and seeking other opportunity. So man, it's
yeah,
up to you to take that leap of faith. I mean, if you think it's better
yeah,
opportunity out there, go after it. I mean, you can always get another job. I mean, like, what
yeah.
you scared of?
And also too with Uber, like it's always gonna be here. Like
Exactly. You got Uber and Lyft, so you got 2 platforms to
yeah.
really take
And I
advantage
I
of.
haven't even touched Lyft yet. Like that's the thing, I haven't even touched Lyft yet. So if I
Exactly,
make
man.
it 2 racks a week, there's like a lot of people who have just done 2 racks a week just on one platform. But honestly, I just have to like get registered for like Lyft and all that. But also too, it's like crazy, like 2 racks a week is like a good milestone, but I've seen you interview people who have made 3,000. I'm like,
Yeah,
the sky's the limit. Like that's a huge milestone to make 3,000 in one week. Like
exactly.
people wish they could do that. Like some people don't even make that in a
A
month.
month,
Like they'll work
exactly.
part time.
Yeah, exactly, man. So it all depends. Like a lot of people, they just say, "Oh, I want to make this, I want to do this," but in reality, if you watch what they do, they don't want to do it, and that's perfectly fine. But you know, I think most people don't know what they're truly capable of until they actually go out there and put the work in. Then you will see for yourself. So that's like all the haters. They talk about the hours and stuff. What about the work you putting in to build your confidence up, to test yourself, to see exactly what you are truly made of. They don't look
Yeah.
for those type of benefits. They rather, well,
Yeah,
about
and also
depreciation.
too, and yeah, also too is like you can just work hard. You can just go hard for one week. Like let's say you make 3,000 in one week, then the rest 3 weeks you could just like take off for like depending on your bills. Like here in like Cleveland or Michigan, usually people's rents are like what 800, $900 a
Yeah,
month.
something. Yep.
Let's say you made the 3,000. You do that in one week, you already have your rent paid off and everything, and all you get to do is chill. Like
Exactly, man. It's a lot of ways, to attack the game. It all depends, but one thing is for certain, man. You got to get out there. You got to get out there and grind, man. This
yeah,
isn't, a 9 to 5 job where you can sit there and half ass and get a check. It's all on you.
right,
So if you
yeah,
transition to this, you made a decision, you know, to some degree, like to put it all on you. And so why not make the best of it? Why not
right,
try to make 2 racks a week or try to do, 84 hours to see how much money you could potentially make? You'll be shocked. You'll be surprised.
Right.
Fuck the money. You'll be surprising yourself. Like, damn, I can't believe, for a lot of people, they work, 70 plus hours. That's the most hours that they ever worked. Like, damn, I didn't even think I was capable of doing that. You
Yeah.
know, it's as simple as that, man. But
Yeah.
I want to thank you once again for coming on, sharing your story. We finally got somebody from Cleveland. I think you probably the second person in Ohio. Got to double check, second or third. Yeah, second or third person. So shout out to Ohio, and we're gonna keep this thing going. The 2 racks a week challenge, ladies and gentlemen, number 62. So, like I always say, man, how bad do you want it? Do you really want the things you say that you want? Do you want to make 2 racks a week? Or do you want to, go to a job and get told what to do? Somebody calling sick, they gonna call you, can you come in? Well, it's supposed to be my day off. Please, okay, I'll come in. You want to be one of those people, or you want to take life in your own hands? So the choice is yours, man. The choice is yours. You want to say anything else before we close out?
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say. Do you?
Nah. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, Ronnie Speed, over and out. Drum roll, guitar, piano, violin. Ronnie Speed, over and out. Mr. 2 racks a week. Holla back. Peace.